We got Bohemia and J Hind in the house. Welcome to VladTV.
Thank you, man. Good to be here.
So, explain the genre of what you guys do for our viewers to understand.
I mean, it's hip hop music, man. Um, my music, especially, it's more grassroots hip hop. It's more related to poetry, and I come from. I've been a big fan of Desi poetry, or which is East Indian poetry, I want to say, to explain to the viewers. My music it kind of got transformed, which is just a lot of stuff that I learned from that poetry got transformed into sounding like rap when I started doing that kind of poetry over beats. So it was not something that I knew I was doing. It just happened. It was, and I think that's because of being in California, and at that time, it just happened to be. And then people started calling it Punjabi rap, rap, Desi hip hop.
Right. So, Punjabi rap seems to be the term that kind of encompasses what you do.
Yeah, Desi hip hop more, even more so. Desi hip hop.
That would be the genre.
It has become a genre.
Yeah. No,
So,
absolutely. And of course, you're from Pakistan, right?
yes,
And, between Pakistan and India, you're talking about a huge, billions of people. So this is a genre that kind of got created and has grown since then.
since then, and it was gonna happen anyways. I mean, I think we're the first artists to have being recognized as pioneers is because one of the first artists that to do it to the legit sort of a way. I think getting signed with labels and stuff like that. But that's just because we were the first one and happened to be doing it. To me, it was gonna happen anyways, because you see that side of the world and this side of the world, we influence each other all the time, culturally, with foods and fashions and stuff like that. And as far as music goes, it's always a evolution that's a few years behind. The gap's getting smaller and smaller,
Right.
but it's always been happening. You've been having the Desi influence. You had Ravi Shankar playing sitar back in the 70s. That was like situation going on where Indian music was influencing American music or big mainstream music. And then the Desi music in India, predominantly, which is Bollywood, is always influencing or being influenced by the American music. So, anyways, hip hop or Desi hip hop was gonna happen anyways. We happened to be at the right place at the right time,
California.
and I think that's what it is.
Right, because it seemed like in the early 2000s, the early 2010s, it seemed like hip hop was really embracing Indian music a lot. So, for example, you had the song by Truth Hurts, Addictive,
Right.
which seemed to have some sort of Indian sample. And of course, you had Big Pimpin' by Jay-Z, which had a huge Indian sample associated with it.
Yeah.
And, I could see how it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
had
absolutely.
Lata on the first one.
Oh yeah.
Lata Mangeshkar.
Yeah. So Bohemia, you were actually born in Pakistan.
Yes.
Okay. And how old were you when you came over?
I was 13. 14 actually.
Oh, okay. So it was kind of a little bit later.
Oh yeah. I was growing up. I was really soaking in the poetry and Desi music, Pakistani music, Indian music, a lot. So.
Right. So English is not your first language.
Oh, not at all. I could not speak English. You know, I learned, it was like just crash, you know, you end up in San Francisco and you, whatever. I mean, in the schools over there, they try to teach you, but it's, you know, it's not at that level. So no. And neither was Punjabi, which is what all my music is in it, all my poetry.
Right. Nobody in his home spoke Punjabi.
No, everybody in my home spoke Punjabi. I didn't.
Or right.
The opposite,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
So everybody.
Because,
That was the surprise factor, right?
okay, so explain to me, in Pakistan, Punjabi is one of the languages, and what are the other languages?
Well, Urdu is the national language. That's what everyone, you know, it's the schools and everything. English is always there. That's the legal language, and the business language. And then you got, you know, Punjabi, which is spoken all over the place, all over the world now, but both in India and Pakistan. And that's
Got it.
So the language crosses. A lot of time, you know, the language Punjabi also represents a religion, which is this religion Sikhism, which is their official language is Punjabi. But the language itself is also spoken all over India, Pakistan, and it crosses regions and areas where, you know, you go close to the mountains and the Punjabi changes. You come down south, closer to the water, to the ports, Punjabi changes. The dialect,
Right.
Punjabi within itself has different slangs and dialects. So that's where generally, if as a Punjabi rapper, I had to study the difference between the predominant Punjabi spoken in Pakistan, the predominant Punjabi spoken in India, and then how to speak to both of them, to the youth, how to communicate with both
Got it.
without getting. So it was really interesting to realize how within Punjabi, from north to south, itself it changes. But the way border between Pakistan and India cuts, it cuts mainly the state of Punjab. So you got, you know, Punjab on this side and this side. You know, different countries, but very same language, pretty much the same culture, same
Right,
people.
because originally India was
Just one, yeah.
big area, and then after Gandhi, you know, kind of triggered the revolution and so forth, it got cut into India and Pakistan.
Right. It used to be Hindustan,
Aha.
aka
Okay.
Jai Hind.
Aha. Now, the Pakistan side was mostly Muslim, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are Muslim?
No. So Pakistan's side there's a lot of different religions in Pakistan, including Sikhism and Christianity, and you got a few other religions that we wouldn't even think of. Sikhism is in Pakistan. So now what makes them different over the time and being perceived as there's more Muslims there is because it's a Muslim state. So it's not, whereas India, when it became India, separated, that's a democracy. So they they're proud to tell people that, hey, we're the world's largest democracy. Because, hey, based on population, I'm not surprised they're not the world's largest country already, are they? Like, besides China, I think,
China, of course.
is bigger. But yeah, so yeah, that's where the situation is. But no, there's a lot of different religions in Pakistan, and I happen to be born in a converted Protestant Christian family.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so that's what happens. And that's my dad, who was born in Lahore, Punjab, Pakistan. Now that's the heart of Punjab, the Pakistan side. He got into some stuff early on in his age, takes off, runs down south, and that's where he meets my mom. And down south, by down south, I mean Karachi. Karachi is where I was born. So then he, marries my mom, tries to get his act together, and gets transferred from Karachi gets a job, and so he transfers to Peshawar. Now that's Peshawar is basically up north. Now that's where we're talking 3 hours from Afghanistan. That close, that up north. So I was born in Karachi, but then when I was maybe 7 or 6, I end up being in Peshawar. And Peshawar is, mostly very much the Afghan culture that's kind of fading into the Pakistani culture, being so close to the border. Very interesting, very fun, because as a kid, this is the area much closer to where, the whole Taliban, Bin Laden incident happened, of him getting, But as a kid, living there and at that age, having to go to a school and having friends, the experience I have, it's almost like I don't remember any of that. Like it's all I remember is beautiful place, beautiful, I don't know, trees, beautiful people, friends, and it was just fun. So yeah, a little bit of childhood in Karachi, a little bit in Peshawar, up north, and next thing you know, we moved to California. I'm about 14.